Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, I'm going to be giving you a preview of what I would like to call the best Fusion Warrior team in the world. Now, this team here has actually helped me get very high, and I'm talking very high. Let me actually turn that down. That was crazy. Very high in the PvP ranks. As you can see, I'm 41st in the world, and I haven't even been sweating the game religiously. Literally, I've been skipping days. I did a 24-hour live stream, and you can see the Fusion Warrior team down there below. Let me show you what it's comprised of, and I'll actually give a full explanation for the party formation that I actually have for the team. So let me just set this to actually Fusion Warrior, and actually let me take off Legend Limited. Then I'll go to View All so you can see what it's actually comprised of. So if you want a quick copy, but there will be some variations depending on your star level. But for me, my team is full 14 stars. You can see everybody there, every red slot except for this one and first and second equip here. This one here, I'll explain why. It's not easy, it's not cheap. And this one here, but I don't use Ultra Super Goggia anyway, so let me slide. But every slot other than those two, you can see has a red slot. So we're looking pretty perfect here. I'm going to be giving an explanation for why this is the best Fusion Warrior team that you could actually possibly use. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. Recently hit 35k. Did well on this 24-hour stream. I appreciate you guys showing love and support. All my social media is going to be on the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel. We got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those. But yeah, man, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually look at Fusion Warriors as a whole, but I'll also break down why this team is so valuable. So just before we go into the team specifically, you can see there's not a lot of Fusion Warriors. Like, Fusion Warriors don't even have that many options, I'm not going to lie. It's comprised of multiple one-man army units, and that would be mainly the Ultras. If you're not using the Ultras, then just forget about it, honestly. The Ultras that's carried, the first three, don't even look at Omega Shenron saying like, well, he's an Ultra too. Well, no. Definitely the first three are the ones that you want to actually use. And if you're not using the first three, I'd say the only two other Fusion Warriors that are usable would probably be if you have this guy at 14 stars as a meat shield that would just buff your team, and I'll explain how later. Or Vegeta Blue, he can situationally build up a lot of strike damage and actually do a lot of damage, given that he builds it up in the way you need it to, but that's really based on the opponents that you're facing. But for the most part, Fusion Warrior doesn't have anything else like supports or any actual defensive units. They literally just have one-man army units, which is actually quite a downside, but I'll speak about that later. But let's actually get into why my team is the actual best Fusion Warrior team that you could build. So first things first, we're going to start with the party formation. I'll get into the equipment in the next segment, but this is going to be for the party formation first. So you can see here I've got Ultra Super Vegeta, Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Gogeta Blue, Zenkai 7 LF Super Vegito, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and EX Gogeta. Now, if we actually look at each person here, they're all Fusion Warriors, so you don't need to worry about any of the Ultra's Ultra ability. So people often say like, oh, how come Ultra Gogeta Blue isn't in the leader slot? Well, it doesn't really matter, because no matter what Fusion Warrior is, you can see here, per tag Fusion Warrior battle member or support member, you'll get 5%. 5 times 6 is 30, and if you put them in leader, they get the 30 for each anyways. But if you don't, you need to meet the requirement per tag. So you can see they have Ultra Super Vegito, he has the Fusion Warrior. You can see Ultra Super Gogeta, his was Fusion Warrior as well. And just for your clarification, the last one here is also Fusion Warrior with Ultra Gogeta Blue, which makes you know that it doesn't really matter who you put on the leader slot unless you're going for another reason. So the reason why I actually have Ultra Super Vegeta on the leader slot is because this guy here, ES Gogeta, provides a very good Z ability, and because my team actually comprises of two Gogetas, even though I don't use Gogeta mainly, if I was actually just running in PvP, I'd be using like Pan or something. I feel like Ultra Super Gogeta has lived his life and he's not as powerful as he once was. But besides the point, if I was the reason I have this guy here is because he gives 40% strike attack, which is the main thing. You're gonna see the Z abilities line up so well. And then if they're also just fusion, which is only Gogetas by the way, they would actually get strike defense 40%, which is actually a lot. So 40% on strike, 40% on strike defense as well, which is very good. But what you need to know is that you see that fusion segment, Ultra Super Vegito doesn't have it. So because he doesn't have it, and he's the only Vegito I'd really be bringing into the battlefield, I'm gonna put him on the leader slot so he can get it. Gogeta Blue and Super Gogeta, they have that fusion tag there, so they will be getting it, probably because the fusion that they do is actually much different. Vegeta has the Patara, Gogeta does the dance. But yeah, that's with that. The other two that are really benched that you really need to think about is Zenkai 7 Super Vegito. The reason he's here is because he actually gives HP at 14 stars. So you can see there 30% attack, Fusion Warrior base strike, attack and defense, and plus 12% to their max base health during battle. The 12% health is actually the biggest thing there, but on top of the fact that he actually gives offenses and defense is very good, but he's one of the rarest units that actually just give HP once they get to 14 stars. It's very weird. Before 14 stars, he has nothing to do with HP, but when you get into 14 stars, you get the HP segment, which is actually very, very useful. So if you have him 14 stars, and since he's been here since the first anniversary, a lot of people should if you have been playing the game for a while. And then Gold Tanks, he's also here for the extra HP, and this really makes my team unkillable. In most cases, Ultra Gogeta Blue, especially while he's boosted, he actually can tank Rising Rushes, which is actually insane. You can see here, Super Saiyan 3 Gold Tanks actually gives Fusion Warrior max base health, which is very, very good. I forgot to mention as well, Super Vegito, he's actually a Zenkai buffer for Gogeta Blue, which is actually just an extra plus, which is dope. But yeah, the team can actually tank a lot of Rising Rushes. The only person that's not tanking any Rising Rushes is Ultra Super Gogeta, simply because he's not getting Zenkai buffed and he's not on the boost anymore. Ultra Super Vegito, he's actually quite the defensive menace. I say that sarcastically, but really and truly, he has good defensive. Ultra Gogeta Blue, he's boosted and he's getting a Zenkai buff, and there's obviously the 2 double HP options, and you're getting a lot of defenses. Now, if we look at the actual Z abilities throughout the whole team, I'm just going to take Ultra Super Vegito and actually show you. So besides from his Ultra ability, which he gets for himself, you can see here the Z abilities come through heavy on the strike. So you can see here Super Vegito, which is himself, 5% to strike cast damage. Then he also inflicted by Fusion Warrior. Then he also does 42% attack Fusion Warrior, or say in base strike and blast defense. That's double defense, which is very, very good. We got Super Gogeta here, the Ultra, 5% to attack Super Saiyan special move damage inflicted. The only thing about that is that Ultra Gogeta Blue doesn't get it, but it's better for Ultra Super Vegito to get the 40% defense from the ES Gogeta. So that special move, Gogeta Blue is not getting it, unfortunately, because he's not a Super Saiyan. But the 42% to tag Fusion Warrior and Saiyan strike, attack and defense there. Gogeta Blue, 5% to special move for Fusion Warrior, which is dope. And then he does the 42% to tag Fusion Warrior or Saiyan by base strike, attack and defense. Again, LF's Zenkai 7 Super Vegito, strike, attack and defense 30%, and then the HP. So you can see there will be 42% strike and defense, really and truly, but the 12 goes to the HP, which is dope. Gold Tanks 20% to Fusion Warrior, max base health, and then the ES Gogeta I spoke about, 40% Fusion Warrior strike attack and 40% to attack Fusion Warrior base strike defense. So strike attack and defense. There we go. The reason I actually would consider using purple Super Vegito if you really wanted to is because he would be used as a meat shield, build him very defensively, and then you'd put him in a position where he could actually take a lot of hits. So I believe it's in this unique ability here. You can see here, plus 10% to damage inflicted by allies for 15 timer counts when the enemy uses an arts card. They don't even have to hit him, it's just the fact that they use it. It would allow him to build up buffs for your allies. So if you build him defensively, he can take more hits, give him HP, he can take even more hits. He's going to regen as well, because on the main ability, pretty much everybody gets HP, which is dope. But on top of that, he also gets buffs effectively based on the card that he draws, which would actually help him do a lot of ultimate damage in the end. So if he draws an ultimate arts, you can see here, applies the attribute upgrade minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut, but then you could also just be building up other buffs all around, which is dope. Build him defensively, because this unique ability here where he gets the 10% by allies also applies to himself, and with that he's actually able to do a big ultimate art, which actually takes away the enemies through the main ability anyway. It takes away their attribute upgrades, and the ultimate art's going to hit out, the ultimate arts is going to hit. That pretty much comprises the team. I wouldn't go for anything else. This is literally the ultimate setup for Fusion Warriors, and I'm talking strictly Fusion Warriors. This is definitely what I'd use anyways. Now, some people are going to be asking, oh, is there anyone else I can use for the team? Well, I did mention Vegito Blue, but I do think he's very situational. You'd swap him out for Ultra Super Gogeta if you really wanted the blue, but you could also use him as a Z ability. The Z ability here is pretty good. You get 38% to strike attack and defense, which is actually very effective. You can see everybody went for the strike attack and defense. So Super Vegito Blue, sorry, I'd recommend. If you really wanted to force a green, but I don't know why you do that with Ultra Gogeta Blue, you could have this guy, but if you don't have enough 14 stars, I wouldn't even bring him out to play. Don't do it. Situationally, you could get Gogeta Blue to do some good stuff, but really and truly, if you don't land this green card, you're not getting anywhere, and you'd also need him 14 stars to really stand up in the meta, especially above BR 70. And besides from that, Fusion Warrior doesn't have anything else that would be of use for you. It's literally Just the ultras in most cases. Vegito Blue maybe, and Gogeta Blue situationally, but he's not a substitute for Ultra Super Vegito. If you really wanted to force it, build Marjube defensively because he has endurance. Endurance is very effective to just keep you alive that tiny bit longer. Explosive greens are annoying, and he actually has some annoying features when he like cover changes. For example, seals enemy strike arts, changing cover. The sealed arts cannot be used for free time accounts. He basically just stops their combo. It's mad annoying, but again, if you build him defensively, he can cover change, not take too much damage, and on top of the fact that everybody has strike defense in this meta, everybody's using like a strike unit, so you'd actually be able to actually survive for a bit longer. But again, that's another thing, another unit you need 14 stars. I did forget about this red Vegito, but really and truly, he's not useful past his strike lock, in my opinion. He doesn't Zencap up anybody that you'd be using. The Z ability is good, but then you'd have to put Ultra Gogeta Blue on the leader slot because he's not going to get the character Vegito strike attack section. So you get the strike attack and defense for double defense 40%, but it's only 20% to strike attack, and that's only for Vegetos. So you'd lose out on getting strike attack on either Ultra Super Gogeta or Ultra Gogeta Blue because they're not Vegetos, that's standard. But I think he's good with defensive capabilities, but he's not doing enough damage late game. The locking past that, he's useless, to be honest, in my opinion, especially if you're fighting above the BR70s, of course. But he's not a bad unit by any means. I just don't think like you need a red that badly, especially with Beast Gohan running around as well. He's going to be around for a long time, so that's just my personal recommend. I'd definitely just opt in if you can build this exact team, and you'd actually see some good results. But of course, the equipments play a big factor, which I'm going to get into right now. So now we are here with the equipments. The equipments actually make the team, and I actually had a different setup, and I'm actually recording this video for a second time because I've seen the light. I had a bit of a change in heart in my mentality when it comes to attacking. I've always been a offensive person. Offenses win games, but in this meta, the game's drastically changed to a point where everybody lives a long time, and rushes come so fast. You need to really stay high health so you don't just get destroyed even before the rush happens. You want to actually survive longer. Damages are good, but they're only really good to a certain point where you're not even making a difference, whereas you're losing out on a lot of defenses. So if you lose the priority, you have less chances to actually gain priority over the other person because you'd actually be dying faster. So let me explain what I've got here. The first equipment you can see on the first row going down, column you know what I'm talking about though. You see here, we got this equipment here, the Yosha equip, alright. What it does, it gives you double defense, the first slot 30%, second slot 30%, and you can actually get pure strike attack. Now, the way I always explain strike attack for pure, anything pure, is that it's a multiplier. To get a big multiplier, so if you multiply a number, if the number that you're multiplying is big, you would get a way bigger number than if the number you were multiplying was small. So having pure 5% is very good because it will essentially multiply all the other Z abilities and other equipments that are giving base stats to your units. So you can see here, if this was 5% to strike defense, you can notice that there's no base before the strike attack. So if it says strike defense, this would actually be giving, this would actually be helping this basically, or this would be helping this because I've got the base already. So that's how you need to think about it. It's a multiplier. You need a lot of base to actually make use of the multiplier that you're going to add. But that's why I'm using this one here. It's very useful to just multiply the amount of strike damage that everybody's doing. And Fusion Warriors is very strike orientated, so there's not going to be any blast units. Don't consider any blast units ever on Fusion Warriors. It's just strike attack units or defense units maybe, and occasionally support units. But if it says range type, for the most part, they're going to be useless. So that's that equip. Everybody needs to have that equip. Even though I'm not going to be using everybody, I'm pretty much going to be using the first three. Now for Ultra Super Vegito, this equipment here is very useful because you get HP out of it. But the main thing you want out of him is ultimate damage, because his ultimate, after building up a lot of sustained damage, let me show you his unique ability as for why it really makes sense. There's somewhere in his kit where it literally, you see here, downgrade plus 50% damage received for 10 time accounts. That's every time he uses a strike or blast art. You're building up sustained damage against the enemy. So when you hit your ultimate art, it's going to hit like a nuke, and people are always confused as to why. So HP is really important so you can live long because he's got the good defenses, but the ultimate art damage is what I'm really looking for. This equipment basically does the same thing, but instead of HP you get health restoration, which is also very good because Ultra Super Vegito, he has a lot of healing capabilities. So he doesn't, Does he heal on his main? He doesn't. He does heal on his main. Everyone heals on his main. 20% there. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is that when the enemy attack is over, it's always 10%. So you can keep in high health even though he's taking quite a bit of damage in a lot of situations. So I very much like that about him. Going on to the next equips, we've got Ultra Super Gogeta. Similar to Gogeta Blue, opted in for this equip here. Gives you nice balance. Now, earlier when I was talking about the party formation, offenses only matter so far, because after a certain point, you'd be risking your defenses if you only think about offenses, because of the fact that you won't be able to actually get many priorities over the other person, because while they're living for a long time in a battle of endurance, for example, you'd be losing out if you didn't make the most out of your priorities. So it's either you're killing them fast, or if you don't take the chances that you get, and the chances that you lose priority, you would actually be dying faster. And in the end, even though you might be doing more damage, if you don't outlive them, you're never going to be able to get more damage out. You know what I'm saying? So we got here double defense, strike attack, HP is very, very important, and some blast attack. Ideally, you want the strike attack, so I'm going to re-roll that, but I'm just showing you the most effective equipment to actually have available for him. But again, if you wanted to go for a balance route, you could, but I wouldn't see the point, because everybody's literally going for a, what you call it? Strike build, because it's a melee team. Cool, we got more pure here with USG. I'm thinking of swapping this out, but I went for it because it can give him more pure and defenses. The middle slot has defenses, 20% strike defense, and we know that everybody in the meta is using strike characters most likely. The critical is pretty useless, I'm not gonna lie, but it's there. But if you wanted a substitute, just to show you, you could obviously opt in for the Righteous Saiyans equip. If you're using a hybrid Saiyan like Pan, you could go for this equip here. It'd be very, very useful. But really and truly, this equipment's good as well. There's a lot of options, even that new Awakened equip, which gives you double defenses. I'd say this is the best option, because you probably get double defense. So let me even swap that out right now, just to show you. Cool. Moving on, we got this here. Again, it comes to living in the battle of endurance, double defenses and HP, but the blue card is really, really important, because Ultra Gogeta Blue does a lot of blue card damage. He's got the same equipment here in the middle slot, which is dope, but there's not much more to say about that. Purple SV's platinum equipment, you just need that. It gives him pure defenses, and he also gets pure strike attack on cover change and ultimate damage, pure blast attack, all dope all around. Gold tanks, even though I'm not going to use him, it's just special move and ultimate damage. He does a long range ult, which is dope. I hope they Zenkai him. Blast defense on the first slot, but obviously if you could get strike defense, that's even better. I think I even have a strike defense one. Let me actually check that. I might have pressed the wrong one. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, there we go. Don't know what's going on there. Got a strike defense one. Similar equip I showed you, Ultra Super Vegito, and then going down here, it's a double defense one. I think this equipment has Awakened, but I don't use EX Gogeta, and I've just got this Saga's Red movie plat. Nothing too crazy, but you could see for the main first three is really what's important, that you want to stay consistent with the overall balance on your team. There's already a lot of offenses due to my Z abilities, already a lot of strike defenses, but you want to max out the HP as well to keep them alive. Now, to close out the video, the one thing I want to say is that Fusion Warrior is lacking one thing, and that's actual support for their team. So they do have a lot of one-man army units and the most overpowered units in the game, but they don't have literal support for their team. There's no unit there that is able to help the team. Ultra Super Vegito does have endurance, yes, but he's not really buffing the team. Purple SV is very outdated. He's been around since the first anniversary. Yes, he's Zenkai, but above that, what is he to the team? Really just a liability in terms of his offenses. He does give support, but that's only really when he's taking damage. It's not consistent when he's switching out or anything like that. Nobody really provides that for Fusion Warriors. So even though they have a lot of one-man army units, they only get that every so often. It's like guaranteed once a year we get a Fusion Warrior, right? But they will fall off over time, or they will fight the challenge, which is time, and they won't be having anything to keep them alive. They will just have to survive on their own accord, and when they leave the boost, it's really if you have them high stars, you'll be able to continue using them. Otherwise, they're not going to be looking like the biggest one-man army unit at all. I guess their team as well, depending on the one you're using them on, but we're talking about Fusion Warriors here. Fusion Warriors specifically don't have anything like that. So even though they might get the most overpowered units, and everybody might be getting tired of them, I'm not, personally, they don't have any unit to actually keep them alive. or like buff them up while they're on the battlefield. And you might be wondering, why would they need that? Again, it's about the challenge of time. As they go on with time, they're not going to release Fusion Warriors every single anniversary. I hope not anyways, or every single festival. But there will come a point where the older Fusion Warriors, the older Ultras, Gogeta Blue's going to age. Ultra Super Gogeta is already showing his age. Ultra Super Vegeta is going to show his age. They're probably going to drop someone that's going to counter him. Or maybe Cooler will become more relevant when the Lineage of Evil unit drops. He's not going to be able to do his thing. So he needs somebody to actually assist him, which is what support does. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video like that, man. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media is going to be, they're not on the bottom of the screen right now, but they're in the description below. We got this is the YouTube channel, we got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure to check me out all of those. But I'm gonna leave the video like that, man. Let me know what you guys thought about the Fusion Warrior team. It's definitely the team that's got me very, very far. You saw the rank, and I'm 24-time God League, gonna be 25 soon. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.